So in the world of marketing, a big question is, should you strategize or just execute and ready, fire, aim type strategy when it comes to your marketing? I think it's a balance of both. A lot of people tend to go one way, the extreme, or the other way to the extreme. A lot of people want to just strategize all day long, strategize, and then implement after a long time of strategizing and the velocity of which marketing moves at the point when they want to actually now implement, it's probably already too late. But then you have the other extreme where people just want to implement and just literally just fire as much as they can and then lose a lot of money in the process. So how do you become perfect in that scenario where you're not one extreme or the other? My answer to that would be a little bit of both, obviously. Now that's a little cliche and probably sounds a little bit too simple, but the reality is you gotta have both. You do have to strategize your marketing, but at the same time, you do absolutely have to test. And I think a lot of people are afraid of the testing a lot more than the strategizing, because the strategizing, most people's mind, it tells them that it's gonna be something that it's sure thing. It's like, I'm gonna strategize this and it's gonna work this way. But guys, listen, in the world of marketing, it does not always happen the way that you think it is. You might put out a video on YouTube and think, oh, this is gonna get 100,000 views in the first week, and then it gets 5 views in the first week. And then you put out another video and you think, oh, this one's kind of sucked, and then it goes viral, right? And that's just the way marketing works nowadays. And so you really have to do both. You got to strategize, but also be willing to test a lot. And I always say testing is kind of the core function of marketing. A lot of things that I do in our marketing is just test. I actually have my videographer here right now with me, and he's snapping some photos if you hear those snaps. And I actually send a lot of things his way on a consistent basis saying, hey, I saw that, somebody did this, let's try that out. Or somebody else did this with their Instagram post, we should try that and give that a shot. And a lot of what I do is just testing on a consistent basis. But by doing that, I'm able to actually determine what works and what doesn't work, and then relay that to my clients. So that being said, testing is definitely something that you have to do on a consistent basis, and also be willing to keep a pulse on those tests that you do, track the numbers, and be willing to say, hey, this isn't working, let's cut that off, or this is starting to get a little traction, I see the potential, let's put more fuel on the fire. So you really have to make that determination, and a lot of times it's just subjective. It's a very case-by-case basis that you have to make that decision. So then let's go to the strategy side of things. With the strategy side of things, this is something where you don't want to get too far into the weeds, but you do want to strategize a lot of the marketing you put out. You don't want to just put out any random videos or any random email campaigns or build a random website and just hope that it sticks. You definitely want to build things out purposefully, right? So a lot of times what I tell people is a great resource for creating a high-level plan for marketing is a book called The One-Page Marketing Plan by Alan Dibb. Great book, very simple and very direct for those of you who are not super deep into marketing and maybe you don't have a marketing director on your team, so you're struggling with creating any kind of strategy or plan. Get this book. It's a great book to actually figure out how to create a literally one-page marketing plan that's very simple, very direct, and it tells you who your target demographic is. It'll help you create the channels in which you need to market, and then the messaging and the alignment and all that stuff. So that's what I would highly recommend doing, and that could be a perfect mesh on bringing those two together and marrying them. But the question still remains, should you strategize a lot or should you just ready, fire, aim, and test? It's a mixture of both. Make sure you keep your pulse on it if you're gonna do a lot of testing. Make sure that you're not just stalling out and giving excuses if you're strategizing. Do both, and you're gonna have a lot of success in your marketing. Thank you guys for watching. If you got a lot of value out of this, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's a bunch of links down in the description below on connecting with me and reaching out. Make sure you do follow me on TikTok and Instagram at The Content Ninja. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.